All of a sudden, there was the wager that Gary could not swim from Alcatraz to Fisherman's Wharf.
One of the guys I played basketball with, we got talking about Alcatraz. He said no one's ever swam from Alcatraz to San Francisco, which I knew was not true.
When guys get together, you talk about stuff, you talk about life, and somehow, some way, one of the guys, his name is Kevin, challenged Gary's swimming skills.
I think when I stopped swimming, I was about 50 or 60th in the world, which is humiliating.
But that's out of what? 4 billion, I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
Sure.
I wanted to be number one. The bet started at an absurdly high amount.
The original sum was $100,000. And Gary was very willing to bet that.
And got down to $2,000, cash money American. We talk about who catches the most fish. We don't really care. We eat the fish. We enjoy each other's company. We tell jokes.
He doesn't care, I care.
I've known Kevin for 30 years. He is a good guy.
The date he chose was the worst current date of the year. It was in November.
And all of a sudden, Kevin was checking weather forecasts, temperature of the bay. He worked very hard to pick the very worst day of the year.
10 people on this crazy trip that no one would ever taken otherwise.
Gary would have never made the swim otherwise.
I would never done it. I would never have done it.
It was fun in this, Alcatraz swim to get to see another side of my dad, which is his friends.
All my kids went. They thought I was going to die.
Great.
No wetsuit. That was part of the bet too, that you couldn't have any protective gear. There are sharks active.
This picture was, I think, from September of a great white shark eating a sea lion. Right, and you see Alcatraz in the background.
Wait, they sent that to you before you swam?
Oh, yeah. That was the guy trying to get me to back out.
That $2,000,
right? But you can't take the swimmer out of my dad.
He had fairly major surgery about 5 or 6 years ago.
So he found this mask from somewhere in France that met the conditions of the doctor. Even though the doctor said no more swimming, he was like, I'm swimming.
We have an inner warrior, inner hero that wants to emerge. The minute you pronounce yourself old, you're old.
And in our backyard, I hear a very familiar sound, which is the bouncing of a basketball. Change into my sneaks and into my shorts. And my wife was like, honey, where are you going? I was like, well, I'm going to meet the neighbors.
What's it like having a psychoanalyst for a father?
Well, I never noticed the difference because he was always just my dad. But as an adult looking back, I realized that we talk a lot. We talk about everything. We talk about the good, we talk about the bad.
We don't have a lot of real friends in life, at least I don't. And Gary is a real friend.
I trained for 3 months.
Yeah.
We had 10 cogent adults show up for this.
Sure.
Some betting for me, some betting against me.
A mandatory sort of safe boat that must accompany such swimmers.
You have to get a Coast Guard permit.
And this young lady, charming young lady, and she's like, okay, I'm so-and-so, and I'm gonna be out on the boat, and so, are you swimming? And she points to Mark, and Mark is like, no, not me. And then she looks at me, and I was like, I don't swim. And then she went back to Gary.
My dad's like, I am, and she was like, oh.
You don't have your wetsuit?
Yeah, and she was like, are you sure? And he's like, yeah, I got it. Yeah.
She saw her whole career flash in front of her eyes.
She was like, okay, let's get started.
The only thing she said is, I'm concerned for your safety.
It was quite amusing, actually.
You get out of the boat, look up, and there's Alcatraz. There's the cell block where Al Capone died, wishing he could do this. And San Francisco's a long way over there.
58-degree water.
But once you start swimming, and I'm a large person, I have a lot of fat, I have a fair amount of muscle mass, I didn't feel the cold at all. That was a non-factor.
I was not on the boat. But the drama on the boat was Gary gets in the water and starts swimming.
But he probably added an extra, I think they said an extra mile to the swim.
And so we have an hour and a half to kill, no pun intended. So Alcatraz is here, Current is here, heading to Oakland. And then you've got to swim through that to get to the Current going to the wharf. And so he gets in there and gets kind of caught up in the current and gets confused and starts swimming towards Oakland.
When they blew the horn, I was like, oh man, where am I? And I could see the Oakland Bridge.
So she blows a horn.
And I was trying to get her to not blow the horn.
Thanks.
Kevin, love you dearly. But Kevin turns and says, don't do that, that's cheating. You're helping him. And Sally, who's on the boat, Gary's daughter, is like, that's my father out there, and he may be in trouble. So we're gonna blow the horn.
I got close to shore, and the west current, the one I was worried about, caught me and started pulling me to the Golden Gate Bridge.
Oh, yeah.
So I had to really
And then out to sea.
out to Japan.
Sure.
Next stop, Japan. So got into the harbor, thank God.
And he just came out of the water, he goes, whose dumb idea was this anyway?
He landed, we're all in the harbor.
But then I got out and got to thump my chest, and all my friends were there.
You look so happy. I'll show the picture. Yeah, that's amazing.
Momentous is the first word that comes to my mind, and that's probably not overly corny.
The only time where I was really worried and really panicked is when he got back.
I started going into shakes and contractures.
We sat him down on a little bench type thing, and he was just so wired.
And he is starting to turn white.
And his toes were turning blue.
Dad, are you cold? He's like, no, I'm fine. Oh no, that's an early sign of hypothermia.
It was several hours before he could really stand up and move as normal.
They should have wrapped you in a blanket.
In a blanket.
Yeah.
I said, that's for the amateur.
And I bought him a pullover sweatshirt thing, because he just brought like a little beach towel. He just got out and put on a little beach towel.
San Francisco is never over, what, 70?
But he just got out of freezing cold water.
People climb mountains. People do great things. And
His motivation was pure pride. We were trying to convince Gary that he was a has-been, and he took that personally. And next thing you know, he's swimming Alcatraz.
Yeah. I wasn't the oldest guy to do it. I was apparently the oldest guy to do it without a wetsuit.
I ended up inviting everybody that went on the Alcatraz swim to our wedding. And we had an Alcatraz table at our wedding.
I have a difficult day at work, or someone says something to me, goes, you know who I am? I swam from Alcatraz. Do you think you could bother me? You can self-nurture off of that, too.